Hello and welcome to another Jet Vlog. This is a continuation of learning survival Japanese. So if you haven't watched part 1 yet, please go. I'll put the link down below. Make it a response to that video. Please watch that part first and then watch this part 2. So the cliffhanger ending that I mentioned for part 1 was I was talking about the Jet Diary. And this is given to you by Claire, the Council of Local Authorities for International Relations, the governing body of JET. And like I said, it has a lot of good, helpful information in here. There's a great little chart with hiragana and katakana, for instance. Tons of other stuff. So on page 238, 239, there's a little bit of helpful survival Japanese. They go over some of the same key phrases that I mentioned in the first video. Ohayo gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, sayonara. I guess everybody knows how to say goodbye in Japanese, don't they? Arigato, domo arigato, do itashimashite, sumimasen, gomen nasai, shitsurei shimasu. If you go to someone's house, you're supposed to say ojama shimasu when you enter their house and step into their genkan, their entranceway where you take off your shoes. But, you know, that won't happen to you for a while. Oh, a good one to know, because you'll be going to some drinking parties when you first arrive, is kanpai. Kanpai. Kanpai! Which means cheers. It's Japanese cheers. And the etiquette at those parties is you do not drink anything or eat anything until the little speech is given and the kanpai is said. It's not like a Western party where you'll mingle, have a cocktail, have a beer, whatever, you know, eat some appetizers or finger foods, and then start the main meal. You do not eat or drink anything at a Japanese party until you say kanpai, at least a formal one. Let's see. I didn't go over itadakimasu and gochiso-sama deshita, but again, these are ones that you'll learn as you live here. Itadakimasu is what you say when you start to eat. Most Japanese people you see, even if they're eating alone and not saying it to anyone, will still look at their food, put their hands together and say itadakimasu, and then start to eat. And when you're finished, you say gochiso-sama deshita, which kind of means thank you for the meal, it was a feast, etc. Oh, and if you don't want something, like I often will decline food that I don't eat because I don't eat fish, for instance, or decline beer or alcohol if somebody's coming around with a bottle of osake of some sort. So the polite way to just decline is to say, oh, mo keiko desu, mo keiko desu. You know, I'm full, or it kind of has that connotation. I'm full, I don't need any more. No thank you is kind of what it's like. Okay. So the part that I wanted to read to you from the book, this is what it means in English. I am proud to be working with you, and I look forward to meeting as many of you as I can. I hope that our relationship will be a happy one. Very simple, straightforward, but if you say it, if you can write it on a separate piece of paper, I wouldn't get up in front of the people and read it from this book. Maybe write it on a separate piece of paper, and, you know, don't try to memorize it if you don't know Japanese well. That'll be too difficult. But, you know, it'll impress people and show them that you're, you know, willing to try to learn Japanese, even if you mangle the pronunciation a bit. They'll just be happy that you're speaking Japanese and taking the time and the effort to try. When I first gave my very first introduction to all my Japanese coworkers, they had one of my English teachers come to the mayor's office that day and translate for me, so I could speak a little more freely, and I knew that it was going to be translated. How accurately, I have no idea. But I still said this little bit at the beginning, and I told the teacher, I said, oh, Ishitobi-sensei, let me just say a little Japanese at first, and then I will say some English. And he's like, oh, okay. So this is how you say it in Japanese. Minasama to ishu ni oshigoto ga dekiru koto o koe ni omoemasu. Oku no katagata to o shiriai ni nareru koto o tanoshimi ni shite orimasu. Dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. So that brings you back to the dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu that I talked about in the last video. Okay? again, my name is Watashi wa Jason. You can say it in your own pronunciation. Watashi wa Andrew. Watashi wa Alex. Watashi wa Karen. Watashi wa Sally. To moshimasu. That's another way of saying my name is, as opposed to just des. To moshimasu. Watashi wa America no San Diego kara kimashita. That means I am from America, the city of San Diego. You can just say America kara kimashita, or Igirisu, England, or Australia, Australia. New Zealando, Irelando, etc., etc. Okay? So, Nihon wa hajimite desu, hajimite desu. Nihon wa hajimite desu. This is my first time in Japan. Or if you've been here before, you can say that. The biggest thing I can recommend is have an answer for this question, which is you're going to get asked this question a lot. And that is, why did you want to come to Japan? Why did you come to Japan? Why did you want to become a jet? Not really. You're not really going to get asked that too much, but why did you want to come to Japan? And so have an answer that's simple, so Japanese people can understand it, and something other than I like anime, or I don't know, I want a Japanese girlfriend. I don't know what you would say, but yeah, just I studied about Japan in college, and I've always been interested in Japanese culture. My father came to Japan one time and told me about it, and I've always wanted to come here. Whatever you want to say. I mean, you can say, Japanese culture is very popular in Canada, in America, and I have always wanted to come and see it for myself. I am very interested in teaching, English to people, who don't speak English, and I chose to try Japan. Be honest, but have an answer, because you will get asked that question a lot. Be prepared to be asked your age, even if you're a woman. I would just, again, be honest. You'll get asked all kinds of crazy questions. Okay, I think that's about it for this vlog. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that oh, the one other bit of vocabulary I wanted to give you, and it's actually kind of important, is you're obviously not going to know a lot of the time. Not because you don't know what your favorite fruit is, or whatever they're asking you, but because you simply don't understand the Japanese they're saying to you. So to say I don't understand is wakarimasen, wakarimasen. Or you can say wakaranai, wakaranai. Now, there's two ways to think about that. If somebody says, why did you come to Japan? And they say it to you in Japanese, and then you answer with, wakaranai. That kind of makes it sound like you're saying, I don't know why I came to Japan, when obviously you do know. So it's a weird fine line. Sometimes if you say wakarimasen, that kind of means I don't understand, and that's better. But both are acceptable. Okay? Alright, that's my time for this vlog. Again, thank you so much for watching. I have one more that I hope to post tomorrow, and I got a lot of sumo ones to get caught up on too. Thanks as always for watching Jet Diary. It'll help you a lot. And good luck with speaking Japanese in Japan. Wow, exciting. See ya.